Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I am Ashton Doctor, I'm your habit coach, and today we're going to be talking about a video that was requested by our viewers and people on Instagram. So a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we did this question answer session around sex. And one of the things that came up was how to control ejaculation as a man. And I was telling people that, there is this fantastic technique that is taught by this person called MANTAK CHIA, which talks about how men can also have multiple orgasms. Alright, so now that seems like something completely far-fetched, and I believed it was far-fetched too, till I actually started reading about it and practicing it. So let's start understanding what this is about. If you like content like this, please don't forget to hit subscribe and the little bell icon so you know when these kind of videos come out next. So today we're going to be talking about this whole concept of multiple orgasms for men. We can of course have this conversation for other topics as well, so please let me know what you would want me to talk about in the comment section below. But I know it sounds a little far-fetched, and which is why we have books like this, The Multi-Orgasmic Couple. And this book is fantastic because it not only talks about men, but it also talks about women and how the arousals are different in both. You can of course buy just the book on multi-orgasmic men as well, that is also available online. So let's first understand why should you be controlling your ejaculation. So it is not about what we think, saying that if I can control my ejaculation, I can go on like a porn star. No, it is not about going on for half an hour in the bedroom. That is not what the objective of this is, okay? That we need to understand is something completely different. It is what porn stars are designed for, right? It is their job to be able to do that. It is not your job to be able to do that. It is not my job to be able to do that. I'm a habit coach. I don't have time to practice and do that for half an hour. But what we should do is learn why we need to control our ejaculation. And I think this is an interesting topic both for men and women. So please do keep listening. The first thing is to understand what they are talking about. So the first thing MANTAK CHIA talks about is that there's a difference between an orgasm and ejaculation. And if you can understand this, if you can notice that there's a fraction of a second difference between the two, you can control the ejaculation. Because it is the ejaculation that the Taoists believe. The Taoists are the sect that discovered all of this. The Taoists believe that if you can control your ejaculations, you can control your energy for life. Okay? And they believe that every time you ejaculate, a large part of your essential energy of being human goes away. Which is why this whole focus on controlling and preserving your energy. So let's see what they talk about. So they say a man of 20 must ejaculate only once every 4 days. A man of 30 can ejaculate once every 8 days. A man of 40 can ejaculate once every 10 days. A man of 50 can ejaculate once every 20 days. And a man of 60 should not ejaculate. Okay? What is he saying? Is he saying that you should not have sex? No. Is he saying that you should not masturbate? No. He's saying that you should enjoy the sexual pleasures, but learn how to orgasm differently. And the whole trick is about learning how to orgasm differently. So there are two aspects of this. There is the physical aspect, and then there is the mental and the breathing aspect. So let's start with that. So what we're going to focus on first is the whole physical aspect of it. So the physical aspect starts by understanding what happens at a physiological level when we're about to ejaculate. Okay, so men go into this spasm mode where everything contracts, right? You'll notice that your toes curl in, you contract that. You'll notice that your glutes, which are your bums, contract. Everything is getting into that contracted position, which is when you know that you're about to ejaculate. So the first thing that they do is they teach you how to relax that response. If you can relax your toes, if you can relax your glutes, consciously, you can start delaying this process further. The second thing he talks about is understanding where your energy lies. So there's something called the PC muscle in your body, which is the muscle that, prevents you from, when you're peeing, you can stop your peeing and start your peeing. We typically call them Kegel exercises, but the book describes them a little differently. And it's important to understand that, because if you can control that muscle, if you can squeeze that muscle, you can delay your orgasm. More importantly, you can delay the ejaculation. The next thing he teaches you is, once that takes place, once you're reaching that point, how do you pull out and then breathe? So they talk about not having just what is called a genital orgasm, which is the kind of orgasm that we normally have because we think that, it's the same thing, an orgasm and ejaculation is the same thing. And he talks about having something called a full body orgasm. So it's an orgasm that first starts at the bottom and that you can feel just about in your stomach. Then the next time you breathe into it, you can feel it a little higher. Next, you can feel it in your heart. Next, in your mind, in your brain, and finally it explodes on the top. Now, that sounds crazy, but it's actually something that you can practice at home. And the way that he teaches you about breathing is he teaches you about this deep breathing technique. And when you're breathing out, how do you pull that energy up? We are so used to thinking about sex only in one way. We're so used to thinking about masturbation only in one way. But there are so many nuances to it that learning about stuff like this makes such a big difference. The book talks about something called the $1 million point, which is a point which if you squeeze, you can prevent your orgasm. And it is something that one Chinese emperor paid somebody $1 million, inverted commas, because obviously they didn't have dollars there, to find, and to say that if you can find this, I'll give you $1 million. So this book is absolutely replete with such interesting things. And not only that, there are tons of videos on MANTAK CHIA talking about this on YouTube. So you can actually explore it out there. And the beauty of this is that practices like this not only exist in Taoism, they exist in the way that we speak about it in India as well, in terms of tantric sex. It exists all across. We just have to look for it and learn. We have to be curious. The problem with the way that we approach sex right now is that sex is approached in a very get it done kind of a manner. It's like how we learned about sex. We learned about sex watching Friends, right? Oh my God, he got over so soon. Oh my God, no, did you? No, I faked it. Da 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 da. Why would you ever want to go through that? As long as you realize that sex can be a beautiful thing between couples, a communication, in fact, a dance, a way of actually enjoying and realizing that sex is not about the pleasure you receive, but about the pleasure that you can give, then it becomes something completely different. We get so stuck up in our head about what's happening to my body, that we never really relax and enjoy it. So, while this video has gone around meandering into different discussions, the idea was, how do you prevent yourself from ejaculation? And there are actual techniques that you can practice and prevent yourself from, worrying about it. It's actually the worry that really gets you. So there are a lot of videos on MANTAK CHIA that talk about this. There's a whole technique that I don't think it is my duty to tell you or my job to tell you, because, well, I think it's probably proprietary information for him. So I would love it if you could check out his videos. I might link some in the comments below. But check it out, learn from it, because this is, after all, a way of enhancing your sexual life. And your sexual life is something important that we must all, try and maximize on. And if you're all searching for that awesome life, sex is definitely a part of it. And while this is the first video that we made on sex, I would love to make more, talk about it, start conversations, because this is something that, I think we can definitely speak more about and make it a little bit more open instead of just hush hush. So if you like videos like this, please let me know in the comments below and we can talk about it. And remember, I'm Ashdin Doctor, I'm your habit coach, and awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.